our first pop-up. So we are on the way to the pop-up shop. Is everything in the back? So we are on the way to the pop-up shop. This is everything in the back seats. We are about 5 minutes away, so as soon as we get there, I'm going to show you guys like what it looks like, and I'm going to check in, and then I'll give you guys an update. People started arriving from like 7 in the morning, but it is 7:55 and we have to be like there by 8:15. So we're gonna see if we're gonna make it on time and get a booth and all of that fun stuff. The place was actually an hour away. I completely messed up and thought that it was gonna be like 20 minutes away, but then when we put on the address, it was actually an hour away from us. So it's been a fun drive. We've been up since literally like 5 a.m. and I'm gonna show you guys the setup once we get there. So this is the spots. I am 104, so I have this entire area to set up. So far, this is the look. Of course, I'm having a bad hair day while I'm selling Curl products at my first pop-up, but I feel like that's just bound to happen, honestly. So I've been here for like 30 minutes, and honestly, something that I'm noticing is that I obviously have a very specific demographic, and a lot of the people here are men or just like women with straight hair, like older women with straight hair. And so obviously like my brand is not going to be appealing to them. So let me show you guys my booth. Okay guys, so this is my booth. It's nothing crazy, but I have a banner in the back as well as all of these products here with the prices. And then this is the main table as well. So they can purchase any of the products, and then they have like a scan to pay option as well. I was originally gonna put like all of my products on that table in the back, but the measurements of the tablecloth were wrong, and I just feel like honestly it just looked like really wonky. So right now this is just holding like our stuff, and then we had to improvise and put all of our products on the cart and then display some on the front. I am also testing a new product at this market. So I have a clarifying shampoo, and you guys know like I never really did a clarifying shampoo. I had samples of it, but I'm testing them out to see how they're gonna go and see like who wants it, who's interested in it. So I'm excited to see how that goes. Okay, the wind is attacking us right now. It is 45 minutes in, and we just got our first sale for a detangle spray, and then we also sold the last 2 misters that we had. So far, so good. Can we just take a moment to appreciate this banner? Like, oh my god. This is so cute. It looks even better just hanging up because I feel like you can see all of the people and they're so detailed. I love it. I feel like this is looking a little bare, so I think I'm gonna add like something here in the middle. I think I'm gonna put these claw clips here maybe. It is very cold right now, and I feel like a lot of people aren't coming out because it's just really cold outside. So that's one thing. My mother is spending all her time supporting the other local vendors surrounding us. Made another order for the detangling spray. Those are really popular. A lot of people are having the same issue I have, which is just detangling hair in general. It is starting to pick up a bit. It is hitting like 11, so a few more people are walking by like the streets. And then there's music playing, so it's really nice, and a lot of people are walking back and forth. I swear, the reason I think that some people are stopping by my booth is because of him, because he is just being my little sidekick. So I just got like 4 orders back to back because I was talking about my journey as like a small business and what I do, and I got like kind of a crowd of people around me, and everybody was listening, and I was like, guys, don't put me on the spot right now. But I'm grabbing some things to kind of restock a little bit because I did run out of bags for like the stuff that I had on the table, so I'm just gonna put those out and then restock on a few of the products that were purchased. It is finally getting a little bit sunnier, so we are having a little bit more people out, but people were really interested in these bonnets, so I'm going to put a few more out. I think I ran out of these glitter ones actually, but I do have the plain ones, so I'm just going to fill this out a bit and then add some more leave-ins. I think I'm going to move some of those claw clips up here to kind of fill out this turntable because I am doing two for $5 accessories, so I kind of want them to have a little bit more options. But that is what it is looking like so far. So we are 2 hours in. We're getting a good amount of orders. Like it's not super, super busy, but we're having a lot of people stop by the booth. I am thanking these balloons and also my sidekick over there, Brady. Is 1:30. These sales have been trickling in. Someone just bought our apple cider vinegar clarifying shampoo, so that's awesome because you guys know, like, I haven't fully launched it on the website yet, but I was like, let me test it out at this market because it's only been in mini sizes so far. So that's awesome. She was like loving it, like she was smelling it and everything, and that was awesome. So super cool. That's my mom with the bagel. Duncan. We have 1 more hour left, and then we will start packing.
Hey, come meet me at the new at the Winter Haven Market. That's what you gotta do.
Come meet me. Had someone recognize me from my social media posts that I do, which is so funny. That's like the first time that's happened. Yeah, they were like, "You look familiar," and they were like, "Have you done a vending event before?" And I was like, "No," and they were like, "Oh, are you on social media?" I was like, "Yeah, I post a ton on social media." She said like she watched my videos, and that was really funny. Things have kind of slowed down a little bit, but the sun is coming out, so we'll see. We do have to start kind of closing down at around 3 p.m. And then have to be completely out of here by 4, and then that'll be everything. So this is my first pop-up, like I said, and I honestly think that for a first pop-up, it's going really well, just because we've had so many unexpected and like unplanned hiccups going along the way. But I'm happy that we at least, somebody's display just dropped.
So if you record me, I'm not helping you anymore. I don't want to be in those videos.
I think I want to try giving my clarifying shampoos like a spotlight over here, so I might move this around a bit. So I move these on the table, that way they can have a spotlight a little bit, and then I move these oils back to the cart because I also just have a few on the table as well. Because I want to see if people are going to gravitate towards things that are just on the table mostly than the cart. But honestly, everyone's pretty much looking at like everything. It doesn't really matter about the placement, but we'll see. Update for you. The detangle sprays have been really popular, as well as these bonnets. Something that I was not prepared for was the amount of people that would ask to try these on. So I did have to sacrifice a bonnet and use it as a sample. So that was new. And so we are about to start breaking down this entire setup and everything like that. The pop-up shop went really well. There were a lot of people interested, and the people that didn't buy something did get my card. So a lot of good things. We're going to start breaking down, and at the end of the day, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a recap of my final thoughts, what went into it, and would I do this again? It's breakdown time. Everyone is breaking down their tents, and we are getting ready to go home, and I will give you guys the recap.
Okay, so it is the next day. Like I told you guys, as soon as that pop-up happened, I went to bed and I completely crashed because I was out of energy. There were a lot of people that were there just by themselves, like no employees, no one else there like with them in the booth. And that's insane just how they do it by themselves every weekend, like regularly. So much work that they put in, and that's amazing. If you guys don't already do that, make sure you pop up at some markets, support your local vendors because they do so much. So I'm super happy that my mom was there to help me and support me because I didn't even know how to set up a tent. Like it was a super, super spontaneous idea, and I didn't even think it all the way through. But a lot goes into a pop-up shop. So as you guys saw in the video with everything I was setting up, thankfully, like I didn't have to buy a whole bunch of stuff because we already had a canopy, tables, tablecloths. My mom brought over some chairs, a cart, but we definitely had to do like a lot of improvising on the way and as things came because we ended up getting to Winter Haven, to the markets, by 8 o'clock, and you had to be there at the latest by 8:15 because they started at 9. So we got there and we started setting up, and I had seen like pictures and stuff on Pinterest of how I wanted my booth to look and kind of recreating that. It was just like a super loosey-goosey idea of what I wanted. But as soon as I put the tablecloth on one of the tables, it was looking atrocious and super tacky. And I was just like, okay, you know what? We're going to take this cart that we were originally going to use to move things from my cart to, you know, the actual event, we're going to use that and just put the products in the cart and have people like shop from the cart. So that's what I did. And that's what you guys saw in the video. Like they were just shopping from the actual cart and like looking at it. And it actually didn't come out too bad. Like it worked. And that's what I wanted. Like at that point, I was just like, oh my God, I need something that works. That pink table in the back is the one that didn't work out. And I ended up using that to just like put our boxes and our extra products and stuff like that. I'm super grateful we had a tent, but also that tent is like super loud. It was blue and white stripes, and I feel like against the pink and fuchsia and colors of my brand, it was just like so much going on. Okay, so now for my actual experience. It was super, super nice. Something about those markets is that it wasn't like super busy. Like there wasn't a lot of foot traffic for that day because it was kind of cold yesterday. It was around like 60 degrees. So there wasn't a ton of foot traffic to begin with. I don't know what I was expecting. So I went in there with like no expectations. I wasn't like, oh, I want to sell X amount of things or I want to make this amount of money. That's not how I was going into it. I was going into it with my mom and we were both like, hey, this is a really fun experience for your brand. Just kind of suss it out, see if this is something that you would want to do because I do work from home. So if I like doing pop-ups like on the weekends, that's definitely something I can do along with selling my products on my website as well. Something that I noticed especially while sitting there at the booth, was how niche my brand is. Like, you know, it's really me. I love all the pinks and I love the pops of color. I love the aesthetic of my brand. I think it's very cute. But something to note is that if I'm on social media, I'm going to generate all of those people that love my brand to my page and they're going to shop with me. But if I'm in person, it really depends on like a demographic and like who you're attracting because at that market, like the first hour, it was super funny. There was a lot of men. There were a lot of men there. They were walking their dogs. They were just walking by. No one's gonna stop at the girl with the bright pink booth who sells curly hair products. So that was something that I was realizing while I was sitting down. I was kind of like, oh no, what did I get myself into for like the first hour? And that was really funny to see, but it's also like something that you need to be thinking about is like, hey, who is the general audience of who you're selling to? And who's the general audience that shows up at this market? Is your audience going to be someone who is here, who your products can attract? So that was something really funny that I didn't even think about. I think the really cool thing to see is how people respond to my products in real time because I'm on social media, I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all of that fun stuff. And I don't really see you guys' faces when you see my content pop up across your screen. Like you could just be saying, okay, scroll, next. But some of you could be saying, oh my God, wow, that's really cool. And click and view my profile. So in person, you get to see those kind of swipe left, swipe right people in my face. So I had some people walk up to the booth, they looked at it and they were like, okay, and they walked away. And I had some people come up to my booth and they looked at it and they were like, oh my God, this is awesome. It was super fun. So I'm super happy. And I feel like that gave me like a new confidence too, because if I'm seeing someone in real time talk about how much they love my product, like, yeah, that's a confidence booster. I'm like, yeah, that's mine. I made it. My favorite part was that as I was packing up, I had two people who like were originally shopping with me and bought some stuff. They came back to buy more, like literally while I was putting everything away. So that was super awesome. So one girl, she came back and she bought the gel, which I was super happy she did because when she originally bought some products for me, she was kind of debating if she wanted it or not. She still had another product at her house, but she did decide to go back and do it. So I'm super happy she did. And another girl also, they were going to order online. They took my business card, but they just circled back and they were like, you know what? No, let me get some products now. Would I do this again? Would I do a pop-up shop again? Because you guys know I sell online. I do my drops, I do my shipping. Like that's just what I do. I think that when you are deciding if you want to do a pop-up or not, you have to really think if this is going to be worth it for your time and your money because you know you're valuable. Like your time is valuable and there are things that you could be doing. For me personally, I do think this was a good value for my time and my energy because I got to sell in person and worst case scenario, like even if I wouldn't have sold anything, I was going in with the mindset of like, I am developing my selling skills and selling in person. I am working on those skills as a business owner, which is extremely important because you do have to know how to market not only your products, but yourself. Like, why should you buy from me specifically? And another great part is I got to connect with so many vendors that were local to that area or who also traveled. Like I wasn't the only one who traveled and I was super surprised about that because this wasn't like a huge like festival or event going on. And I got to meet a lot of the vendors around me and next to me and see what they were selling. And my mother was buying everything from all of their shops, but it was really, really cool to see that. So I am extremely happy that I went, and I'm super happy my mom was able to experience that with me. And if you guys have any other pop-up shop questions, be sure to drop them down below. And I know that this was supposed to be a packaging orders video. I told you guys that in my last one. I was like, hi, see you guys for my packing orders video. But I actually just packed all my orders off camera, and I'm currently down to 0, so I have no more orders. Everything's out. But if you guys want to see my next video, be sure to subscribe. It is going to be dropping in a week, and it is going to be a brand story time / Q&A. I'm going to tell you exactly how I started my business and what went into it, and just my experience, because you guys know I started my brand in COVID, like in the heat of COVID during 2020. I started playing around with samples and stuff like that. So I'm going to give you guys the entire story time of what happened. So if you guys do have any questions about my business as well, drop them in the comments. We'll use them to answer my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.